When an army man returns home early to surprise his family, his excitement turns to horror. Hearing his little girl's trembling voice call out, "Daddy," leads him to a heartbreaking discovery, her sitting alone on the locked kitchen floor. What circumstances forced her into this lonely situation, and what hidden struggles did she endure while he was away? Join us as we listen to this emotional journey of a father's unexpected challenges and a daughter's silent battles. Stay tuned and let us know where you're listening from today. Captain Daniel Harper stood at the edge of his tent, gazing out over the sprawling grounds of Fort Bragg. For 8 long months, Daniel had been deployed, separated from his family, his heart aching with each passing day. The thought of reuniting with his wife, Emily, and their daughter, Sophie, kept him going through the toughest moments. Today was different. Daniel had secured an early discharge, allowing him to return home 2 months ahead of schedule. He had kept this news a secret, intending to surprise his family without giving them time to prepare. The excitement bubbled within him, a stark contrast to the disciplined routine of military life he was so accustomed to. With a heart full of anticipation, he boarded the transport vehicle that would take him back to Raleigh, North Carolina, the place he called home. The Harper family home was nestled in the quiet Greenwood neighborhood of Raleigh. Neighbors often admired its well-kept garden and the warmth that seemed to emanate from its windows. Today, however, something felt off. Daniel approached the house, his heart pounding with excitement. He had envisioned this moment countless times, walking through the front door, embracing his family, and hearing their joyous greetings. As he reached the doorstep, he took a deep breath, his hand poised to knock. With a swift motion, Daniel opened the door and stepped inside, his smile wide and eyes shining. "Emily? Sophie, Ethan, Logan, I'm home." His voice echoed through the empty rooms, but there was no response. Confusion flickered across his face. "Where was everyone?" he called out again, his voice growing more insistent. "Emily? Sophie? Guys, I'm home." Still no one answered. Unease settled in his stomach as he moved from room to room, each one more silent than the last. It was Saturday morning. They should all be home, enjoying a rare day off together. Daniel's worry deepened as he continued his search. His mind raced with possibilities. Perhaps Emily had gone out for errands, or maybe Sophie was napping elsewhere. He retraced his steps, calling out names, but the house remained unsettlingly quiet. Finally, he heard a faint cry coming from the kitchen. His heart skipped a beat. "Sophie?" he called softly, moving towards the sound. He reached the kitchen door and tried the handle, only to find it locked. Panic surged through him. "Sophie!" he urged, desperation creeping into his voice. Daniel fumbled with his keys, finally managing to unlock the door. He pushed it open and was met with the sight of Sophie standing on the floor, tears streaming down her face. "Daddy," she whispered, her voice trembling. He rushed to her, pulling her into a tight embrace. "Oh, Sophie, I'm so glad you're okay," he murmured, stroking her back soothingly. But as he looked over her shoulder, his eyes fell upon a mattress propped against the kitchen wall. His concern turned to confusion. "Sophie, why are you sleeping here? Where is everyone?" Sophie pulled away, her eyes wide with fear. "It's Emily and the boys," she stammered. "Please, Daddy, it's all right. Just tell me what's going on." Daniel gently held Sophie, trying to piece together the puzzle. "What do you mean, Sophie? Why are you here alone?" She took a shaky breath, her small frame trembling. 6 months ago, Emily said Ethan and Logan were too big to share a bedroom, so she moved me out of my room, and Logan took my place. I have to sleep in the kitchen on this mattress now. Daniel's mind raced. This revelation was new to him. "Why didn't you tell me, Sophie?" Sophie looked down, her voice barely above a whisper. "I was scared, Daddy. I thought you'd be gone again, and I'd be all alone with them." Before Daniel could respond, a knock echoed through the kitchen. He looked through the window and saw a woman standing there, holding a covered plate. "Sophie, it's Mia," she said softly. "Who's Mia?" Daniel asked, puzzled. "She's our new neighbor," Sophie replied. "She's really sweet and kind. She always brings me treats and checks on me because she thinks something is wrong." Daniel's heart sank. "Did Mia say anything else?" Sophie nodded, tears welling up again. She wanted to call social services, but she was scared it would make things worse. Realization dawned on Daniel. Emily had been neglecting Sophie, leaving her alone and isolated. The weight of this discovery pressed heavily upon him. He knew he had to act swiftly to protect his daughter and restore their family. Later that afternoon, Emily and her sons returned from their trip to Orlando, Florida, where they had celebrated Logan's birthday. The house was abuzz with their arrival, but Emily's cheerful demeanor masked the underlying tensions. As they settled in, they were greeted by an unexpected sight: 3 mattresses stacked neatly on the lawn, each adorned with piles of their personal belongings. Emily's face twisted in confusion and anger. "Sophie," she screamed, "what is the meaning of this?" Before Sophie could respond, the front door swung open, revealing Daniel standing there, his expression stern yet composed. "Hello, Emily," he greeted calmly. Emily's eyes widened in shock. "Daniel? Baby, what are you doing here?" Daniel stepped forward, holding the mattresses. "This is where you and the boys will be living from now on." Emily's fury erupted. "Sophie, you little—" She turned her wrath towards Daniel. "I'll make sure you regret this." Daniel remained unshaken. "I've called the police, Emily. They've seen how Sophie was living. If you try anything, you could be charged with child abuse." Ethan and Logan looked between their mother and Daniel, sensing the gravity of the situation. Emily's facade crumbled, her anger giving way to fear and desperation. "You can't do this, you'll ruin us." Daniel held his ground. "I'm doing what's best for Sophie. She deserves a loving and stable home." Faced with the undeniable truth and the threat of legal consequences, Emily and her sons had no choice but to leave. They gathered their belongings in silence, the weight of their actions finally catching up with them. As they departed, Emily glanced back, her eyes meeting Daniel's. The silence spoke volumes. She knew her game was over. In the weeks that followed, life for Daniel and Sophie began to stabilize. Daniel reached out to Mia, the neighbor who had shown such concern for Sophie. Their friendship blossomed into something deeper, and Mia became a comforting presence in their lives. Daniel worked tirelessly to rebuild the family dynamics, ensuring that Sophie felt safe and loved. They spent weekends exploring Raleigh's parks, enjoying quiet evenings together, and slowly healing from the recent turmoil. Sophie thrived under Daniel's attentive care, her laughter filling the house once more. One evening, as they sat on the porch watching the sunset, Daniel reflected on the past months. "I never imagined coming home would be so challenging," he admitted to Mia. She smiled, placing a hand on his shoulder. "But you handled it with strength and love. Sophie is lucky to have you." Daniel nodded, gratitude swelling within him. "I'm just glad we can move forward together." Months passed, and the Harper household transformed into a haven of love and understanding. Sophie flourished, her confidence restored by the unwavering support of her father and the warmth of their new relationship with Mia. Emily's departure left a void, but Daniel was determined to fill it with positivity and care. He enrolled in parenting workshops, seeking ways to strengthen his bond with Sophie and ensure her happiness. Mia, too, became an integral part of their lives, her kindness bridging the gap left by Emily's neglect. One sunny afternoon, Daniel and Mia attended a community event in Greenwood, where they met other families and forged new friendships. Sophie played happily with the neighborhood children, her laughter a testament to her resilience. As the years went by, the scars of the past began to fade, replaced by memories of love and togetherness. Daniel found solace in his new relationship with Mia, who became a loving mother figure to Sophie. Their home was filled with joy, laughter, and the promise of a brighter future. The Harper family gathered around the fireplace, the warmth enveloping them as they shared stories and plans for the future. Sophie, now a confident and happy young girl, leaned against her father, her eyes sparkling with contentment. Daniel looked around the room, taking in the sight of his loving family. Mia sat beside him, her presence a comforting reminder of the journey they had undertaken together. He felt a profound sense of gratitude for the strength to overcome adversity, for the love that bound them, and for the new beginnings that awaited them. As the fire crackled and the night grew quiet, Daniel knew that they had weathered the storm and emerged stronger. Their bond was unbreakable, and the future held endless possibilities. "Here's to us," Mia toasted, raising her glass. Daniel smiled, raising his own. "To family and to new beginnings." Sophie clinked her milk glass against theirs, her heart full of hope and love. Together, they faced the future with unwavering confidence, knowing that no matter what challenges lay ahead, they would always have each other. If you were in Daniel's shoes, would you have handled the situation differently? How? Let us know in the comments below, and thanks for listening to Storyline Narratives.